What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today is another review video for, this time, Veloticy. He has built an orc plot on the creative server, and this is what he got architect with, and I am anxious to see it because I've seen it in its earlier stages, but I have not actually seen it completed. But yeah, this is what we have. The above ground doesn't really look like too much. It looks very dead and all, but most of what this plot is underground, which is definitely pretty substantial. As you can see, he has these walls, these stockade walls all the way around. They're very clustery, and I kind of have a problem with that, but I mean, it works for the style pretty well, and I think he did a good job. I really like what he did with this, and I definitely think that it was a great execution of what the intended subject matter is. And in this case, obviously, orcs. And so you got the basic blocks, got lots of fur, lots of wood, lots of rope and skulls and stuff like that. You got a hangman's tree. We got a pit full of rotting flesh. You can imagine that this would be where all their enemies would be, or maybe this is like a big animal, like some kind of like mammoth that they killed or something. I don't know. You can imagine they walked it in here and then they kind of pushed it down there and killed it or something. I don't know. You guys can just fill in the blank for what that could be. I don't know. You got a little campfire there, as you can imagine. Pretty nice. But yeah, one of the big things that I don't know. It looks nice. The wall is very different. I'll just say that. It's very different. Very fantasy. Now we have some tents up here. It's a pretty interesting style of tent, I think. It's more of like a hut, I guess, but the typical red and black wool with the wood on it. Very interesting tent design for the orc style. And you got another one over here that works pretty well as well. So now I think we're going to go ahead and go underground really quick and see what there is. But here's a couple entrances here, but I'm not sure which way I want to go. There's 3 entrances here, and then there's another entrance right here, which is the main entrance. I think we're going to go in the main entrance. But then again, this splits as well. So now we're going to sort of very goblin kind of style. Now the only thing that I have, not the only thing, but something I have a problem with right here is this would be a funnel for water. And where would the water go? It would go down. So places like this would be pretty much flooded. Like he does have this down here, a little puddle down there. But I do feel that, you know, there could have been some way to get the water from, you know, pretty much flooding the furnace. Or it looks like this is the kitchen, a place where they got some meat back here. But I don't know, it's just a forge. It's a place to make some swords and stuff. And but yeah, it's very interesting. I do really enjoy this plot. Now we got some places down here. It looks like just some storage there, just some area just to put some stuff. And then we go into a rather large chamber. Not quite sure what the point of this chamber is, but more or less probably just a place to kind of, you know, socialize in the whatever orc goblin way they like to socialize. And you got a little prison down, not a prison, but some kind of like thing down here. And they sleep here too. Someone sleeps here. But yeah, you can just imagine like you going down into one of these caves. Say if you're not an orc and you got to go down into here to fight them. I can just imagine the horror you would feel, because just everything around you is rotting and dead. It probably stink. It's very dark. Like if I didn't have Kuda shaders, let's see, Conquest of the Sun shaders. Yeah, it's still pretty dark. There's still some good light though. I'm gonna turn Kuda shaders back on though, because it's so much lighter, so much better to see, so much easier to see. And now we keep going down. We got a little puddle of water down here, so this is probably their water source. Lots of hanging meat. So some rabbits, some steaks, and some stuff. But yeah, there's something, it's very clustery. Very, very clustery. But then again, and that's the style. And I don't know why there's meat all over the place. Like, why is it on the ceiling? That's a question. Why is it on the ceiling? Why is it not in the water if it's on the ceiling? You know, why is there meat everywhere? Is it supposed to be meat? I don't know. But when I typically see netherrack, I always think meat. And there's lots of flies down here. Typically, flies aren't in underground. Like, I can see these in here. Sort of magical fireflies. Now we got some treasure down here. Very, very interesting. A little biome mix up there, but that doesn't matter. But we got some, yeah, some treasure down here. So maybe they are hoarding some treasure. Because when you think about orcs, typically, I don't know. Typically, I don't think about treasure when I think of orcs. But apparently, these guys have treasure. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it looks pretty nice, I think. They did a good he did a good job. It's just very clustery. I don't know, that this just keeps coming to my mind. It's very clustery. Cluster. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the other side and try to go down. Yeah, let's go down this side and see what there is over here. Looks like we got just maybe it just kind of rounds around. Yeah, it does just round around. So there's really nothing in this one. There's just kind of a little roundy thing. And then you go down in this one, and there's really nothing in here either. I was thinking that those were going to go down pretty far, but they don't. They're just little caves. But yeah, overall, I think he did a good job on this plot. I think it is architect worthy. He did put a lot of time into it. He did put a lot of detail into it. Detail could have been a little bit more organized, but then again, orc style, orcs are not organized. They just kind of throw things around, depending on the orc style that you're going for. Like, say if you're the Skyrim orc, you know, typically they're very smart, very, you know, civilized, and so they're a little bit more, organized in this. Like, when I think about this kind of orc, I think about like the Lord of the Rings orcs, the ones that were with the Uruk-hai when they were bringing Merry and Pippin to Isengard, and the ones that, like, Mordor orcs. There we go. Mordor orcs, or even goblins, maybe. But you can just imagine one way or the other. And you always wonder, whenever I watch Lord of the Rings, I just wonder, how do the orcs live? Like, they don't look very civilized, and they just kind of, like, how do they have such a large army if they eat each other? Like, I don't know. Mass production, that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, I think he did a good job. Looks pretty nice. The above ground could have had a little bit more attention to it. You can kind of tell that this is like a main wall here. So I can imagine that this is sort of like a big fortress, like a big stronghold. Like, maybe this goes on for like maybe 300 yards that way, and that goes on 200 yards, and it kind of wraps around. And you can just imagine that this would just be kind of the same style everywhere, just kind of like these big stockade walls all the way around, and some tents here and there. Maybe, like, if you go in more, there'd be like this giant like chieftain tent where they would all congregate and do everything above ground. But then you can just imagine all these little holes like this, like maybe like this is like just like one of maybe hundreds in just this one stronghold, where they would dig out and you know, do their stuff, and that's where they would live, eat and drink, socialize, and do all that good stuff. But anyway, I think that this was pretty cool. I would love to see more. I would love to see more of this. I think he actually is over on the Architect World. I have not checked what Velo has done yet, but I know Red Ranger is building an orc or goblin kind of stronghold kind of thing underground, and it is looking really nice. And I'm really looking forward to reviewing a build over on the Architect World. I think It's Eating is the closest at this point. He is making a Asian style, or not Asian, but more of an Oriental. It's a very interesting Oriental style that he's making over there, and he's doing a really good job. Really looking forward to doing that. But anyway, good job to Velo. Really enjoyed walking through this build and seeing all that you had. It is really interesting and really fun to look through. And but yeah, there's you know, so much more to see on this server. But then again, guys, this is the Raven.org Minecraft server. We are you know, we're here. We have a pretty good community on. If you see, we have 21 on right now. We're not even at peak time yet, but yeah, there's 21 people on, and we'd definitely like to have one more, and that would be you, talking to you. So come on over and join our community. We are on 1.7.10 Minecraft. We use what is called the Conquest Resource Pack by Monsterfish, and he's definitely a amazing texture artist, as you can tell by just to look at the textures of the spruce wood, you know, the gravel, just everything together just works really well. And he is actively updating the pack as we speak. He's getting more stuff on there, more textures, more amazing textures, and he updates it on his Twitter. So if you guys want to follow him over on Twitter, it's at monsterfish_, and you guys can go check him out and see all the amazing textures that he's making for the next update. But also you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well if you want to keep up with me. And yeah, looking forward to seeing more builds, more amazing things, and more amazing people. So come on over and be a part of our community. And we'd love to have you. Also, if you guys like this video, please like, thumbs up, and if you guys want to see more, please subscribe. And I really look forward to seeing you and hearing from you in the future. Till then, bye-bye.